So this is going to be an introduction to 2/2 time and syncopation, and also about tied notes and how those are all used in The Entertainer by Scott Joplin. To read music, you need to know not only the pitch of the notes, but also the timing or the meter of the music. Let's look at 3 important concepts related to meter that we can learn from The Entertainer by Scott Joplin. The first thing is cut time signature or 2/2 time. The second is syncopated notes and accents. And the third thing is tied notes. Then let's take a look now at the time signature. The time signature in this case being 2/2 time, which is also called cut common time or cut time, is shown with a C with a line through it. Now the letter C without the line means common time. And that's also known as 4/4 time, which is the most common time signature. Now mathematically, 2/2 is the same as 4/4 in that each bar contains a whole note or 4 quarter notes. So the 2/2 is different from 4/4 in the feeling of it. Now you might think that because Entertainer's in 2/2 time, that the tempo is going to be different from if it were in 4/4 time, but that's not necessarily the case. 2/2 actually means more than that. It's more of an emphasis on the 1 and the 2. So just for example, if I'm going to count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then the way that we think about that is a little bit different from if you're going 1, 2, 1, 2. And the way that you can show that in Entertainer is you can emphasize the 1 and the 2. Whereas if it's 4/4, you might think that they're kind of equal, perhaps with an accent on the first beat. In 4/4, I'm going to go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I'm going to emphasize the 1 and the 2 as if it were 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. So the way we can play that in 2/2 is trying to give more weight to the 1 and the 2. It's a subtle thing and something that you want to be aware of and try and feel when you're playing it. Now that we've established the time signature, let's look at the syncopation that's going on in The Entertainer. Syncopation is where accents are put on weak beats rather than strong beats. Let me show you now what happens when I count along to the melody. So 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a. So on the before the 1, you get that note played which actually sustains into the next measure. So the next part goes like this: 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a. That's before the 2. Let me see if I can count now a little bit through that. Take a deep breath and see if you can catch how many times there is syncopation here. 1E and a 2E and a 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 1E and a 2. You get it? Tied notes. Now, tied notes are 2 or more notes joined together with ties. They're also used to join notes that are held across bar lines, and we find ties throughout The Entertainer. So in the following videos, we'll take our time to go through reading and playing this so that we get used to playing the syncopated rhythm of Entertainer.